Welcome back to News Geelong as we are joined by Tom King with a special story on the unfortunate diagnosis of lymphoma cancer on one of Geelong's favourite sons, Tim Bluey McGrath.
For 219 games, Tim McGrath was the custodian of the Geelong backline through the 1990s. Now he's fighting one of his biggest battles, stage 3 melanoma cancer, which of course is not a good sign when you're battling cancer, and Bluey knows he's got a battle ahead of him for the next 12 months. He's been good enough to join us on News Geelong. Bluey, it's been now the best part of a week since you went public on K-Rock with your announcement. Can you give us an indication of the support and well wishes you've had over the last week?
Yeah, it's been good. It's more the fact that just wanted to get it out there and make people understand that it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, no one's immune to these things, and especially for men to get out there and it's a doctor's appointment, get your health checked. But it's probably been a little bit overwhelming. I didn't probably think it'd be as big as what it has been over the last week.
You've had plenty of phone calls, plenty of support, and it's been just the Geelong supporter who followed your career, but it's also been fairly high up in the football chain. Yeah,
it has. It's been terrific. Had a phone call the other day from John Longmire and Brendan McCartney and these people, a lot of players I play with. Johnny Barnes rang me the other day. I haven't spoken to him for a long time, not for the fact that we didn't get on. Your lives take different paths, but just to have that support from people, text message or, a phone call, until you're in a position where you're maybe not travelling the best, just that little message means so much, and it's been really much appreciated.
Are you surprised at the outpouring of support that you've had?
Oh yeah, I have. Like I say, I didn't think it would be as big as what it is. Obviously, I haven't played footy for a long time, but obviously with K-Rock going to the footy most weeks and whatever, but I suppose you don't think you've had as big an impact from my eyes as what other people see it as. So that's been great.
You talked about, obviously, when you revealed that treatment was about to start. I believe you do now have a start date for your treatment that interferon as opposed to radiation or chemo. Can you take us through what the treatment will involve and what interferon actually is? Have you done a little bit of research on it?
Yeah, I try not to read too much about it. It does your head in a bit, but start next Wednesday, which is whatever date that is, the 17th, I think it is. Probably dated the 17th. So, start that next Wednesday, and what it is, as dramatic as it sounds, I've got to go to St John of God, go to intensive care, and they put a what they call a Hickman's line in my chest, in a vein, under X-ray, so they know where they've got in the right spot. And that stays there for about 8 weeks, I think, and all the treatment goes through. It's like an IV, and they can take your bloods from that. So the first day I'll be there from sort of 10 to about 5 o'clock. It's a long day the first day, but after that most days will be about sort of 3.5 hours. Treatment takes about an hour, and what it actually is, in a simplistic term, it puts all your good blood cells to one side and treats the bad ones and tries to mingle them all together. That's as basic as it is, I think, but there's a fair few side effects that can happen, which may or may not happen. That's the big unknown. We read and understand what the oncologist Adam Broad has told us, and we're well aware of that, but it may or may not happen. So loss of appetite, lose a bit of weight, get a bit pale, nauseous, kidneys and things like that are a big thing. Hepatitis is a bit of a danger. So that's why they've got to monitor you every week and make sure it's all going well. And if it's not, well, they just put on hold for a little bit just till you get right again, and away we go.
Your first month obviously is very important. It's intensive for that. So I think you said week 1 to 4, and then from 5 to 52, it pulls back a little bit, but still very intense as well. Yeah,
well, had an appointment with Adam Broad yesterday, and weigh you, get your height. So he actually calculates how many square metres of surface area you got, and that indicates how much they need to administer when you go in. So he actually said yesterday that this will be the biggest dose he's given anyone before. So that was, I didn't know whether that was good or bad, but you learn all these things, and as I say, the first month, 5 days a week for the first month. Get the weekends off to watch the Cats, which is good. So hopefully I haven't got any Friday night games. But then after that, week 5 to 52, 3 days a week, which will be self-administered at home. And they teach us that while we're in at the oncology department at St John of God. So, it's daunting, but, want to get stuck into it.
Of course, obviously with that comes your loss of work. As we know, you've been a builder and a builder of note for 2 decades. How does that sort of been running through your head in regards to not being on the tools and having time up your sleeve?
Yeah, obviously initially you had to have the surgery and maybe have about between 4 and 6 weeks off work, and not knowing how long it'd take to recover properly, and then some maybe initial treatment to tidy it up was the first thought. So to have that, 6 weeks sort of treatment, and then to find out it was going to be 12 months was a bit of a shock. And then, you got to go into that mode where you think, well, geez, work's going to have to get put on the back burner. Only because what I do, risk of, cutting yourself, infection, dust, all these things that won't go well with the treatment. Like I say, it's taken me a few weeks to get my head around that. That was why it took me a while to, speak up about it. But now that I know where I'm heading, I always said to my wife, Noreen, that if she'd had a job that would cover everything at home, I'd be happy to stay at home and look after the kids and take them to school, but probably not in these circumstances. But I've got that to do. The kids are great, so I'll do the school run and get them sorted out in the morning, do the house duties, and then head into St John of God and start my day there.
There is some talk of doing some study through the AFL Players Association. I believe you've investigated, potential management style study.
Yeah, I have, and they've been terrific with help from the Geelong Footy Club, Dave Johnson and Ronnie Watt. I'm looking at doing a diploma in business management and get that behind me and see where that leads down the track. I'm not necessarily sure whether I'll go back to the building or not. At this stage, probably not. Maybe look at doing something different and maybe stay out of the sun for a while. But they've been terrific help. Ronnie and Jono and the footy club. Spoke to Steve Hocking the other day. They was terrific with that. So yeah, it's all sort of heading in the right way. I haven't studied since 1985, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But that's the way it's got to be.
A bit different to Dandenong Tech.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. We. It was a lot different. We used to learn our trade there, and it was a long time ago. But things have moved on since then.
And of course, the family, you've got obviously your lovely wife Noreen and your 3 daughters. How are they dealing with your news, and as a family unit to tighten that over the past month?
Yeah, we've always been really close, and we've been up front with the girls and let them understand what's going on. There's no point in hiding the fact from anyone. They're going to find out sooner or later through someone else, and that's not the right way. So we sat them down and we're up front with them. Obviously, Noreen was quite upset when we found out about the 12 months of treatment. That was a bit upsetting, but like I said, we've got a head around that now. We've got a plan going forward about her working and what we have to do, family-wise. And now that we're comfortable with that, we know where we're heading, and there's going to be some ups and downs, but they're all strong kids, and she's a wonderful, strong woman, so we'll be fine.
You've got an open forum now, basically, obviously through your media commitments, which will come to an end, unfortunately. You do a wonderful job at K-Rock, and obviously this treatment's going to stop you from doing some weekend work, but you've been able to promote men's health in the very short time. I suppose the message is there. Us blokes, and I think you use the word, we're pretty proud, but sometimes we just need to lower ourselves just down to allow ourselves to see a doctor or a health professional. Yeah,
for sure. And my aim over the next few months is to hopefully get an appointment with the AFL, whether it be Andrew Demetrio or Gillan McLaughlin, and we have a women's breast cancer round, we have Indigenous round, we have multicultural round, we have rivalry round. The industry's full of men, and we don't have a men's health round, so that's what I aim to hopefully get up for next season, which I think would be great, but whether that can happen in that short amount of time, I'm not sure. But I think, as I said, the industry is full of men, and to just maybe after the Jim Steins how sad that was, that we maybe should have capitalised on that a bit more, and we haven't, and we're probably all to blame. We all have egos, as we said, but if I can work towards maybe making people more aware and have this for the future. We see what a great job Shane Crawford did with that ride. If we can do something to promote this through the AFL, I think it'd be a great thing.
And of course, K-Rock doing their bit as well. A grand final luncheon, of course, on the Friday before the grand final, September 27, out at the Geelong Race Club. $120 a ticket, $1,000 for a table. For more details, admin at krock.com.au. I believe 17 tables have been sold. There's room for about 25. It's going to be a massive day, and I even believe your old adversary, Wayne the Duck Carey, has been in touch with K-Rock and said that he'll be doing whatever he can to come down, and you might be able to just remind him of the days you beat him.
Yeah, there won't be many of them, that's for sure. But it'll be good fun, and it's all done the right way. And appreciate the help that K-Rock's done and all the people involved. So appreciate that, and we look forward to that down the track.
And the other thing, just quickly too, you are going to document your experience with the treatment with a blog. I believe it's in the process of being set up, but more details will come to light through obviously various media outlets in Geelong where your blog can be found. Will that be a sort of a cleansing experience through the treatment?
I don't know how it's going to be, actually. There's probably some days where I won't feel like doing it and not feeling well, but I think people need to realise what happens and be upfront. I'm always been pretty upfront and honest, so they'll see the good and the bad of it. May not be for everyone, but what it is, and hopefully it makes someone go and do something about their health, men and women. So if that can work, that'd be great.
Bluey, we know you've got a tough fight in front of you. We really appreciate your time on News Geelong. Wish you the best of success with your treatment, and hopefully this time in 12 months' time we're talking about Tim McGrath in remission.
That'll be all good. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, for that special and caring report as we continue to wish Tim the ongoing best wishes in his battle. News Geelong with you on this Friday evening as we head to a break and return with more news and weather after this.